Ramiris's intrinsic skill is mazecraft. It creates an underground labyrinth and entrances that lead to it, where Ramiris can demonstrate an almost omnipotent power. It is possible to build a city as imagined and freely set traps. It became a tourist attraction in Tempest, where adventurers could safely challenge themselves to RPG-like adventures. The reward for clearing the labyrinth is 100 stellar gold coins, but it is almost impossible to clear. Therefore, Veldora seems to be idling at the deepest point. This is because the labyrinth has guardians called the 10 Dungeon Marvels located on specific floors and levels, and it seems that most challengers cannot overcome them. In this video, I will summarize and introduce the characteristics and strengths of the 10 Dungeon Marvels, who have grown tremendously strong without Rimuru knowledge. About the 10 Dungeon Marvels. The 10 Dungeon Marvels is a group of 10 powerful beings that emerged within the underground labyrinth of Ramiris unbeknownst to Rimuru. They appear from the 60th floor and are assigned as bosses to guard each floor, becoming a formidable obstacle for challengers. While they help maintain Rimuru's authority through battle, they are seen as mere threats from outside the country. Contrary to popular belief, the first 50 floors are not easy. They are filled with monsters far stronger than those an average adventurer might face, such as the Black Spider on the 10th floor, the Evil Centipede on the 20th floor, the Ogre Lord on the 30th floor, and the Tempest Serpent on the 40th floor. In particular, the Tempest Serpent is a monster that Rimuru had encountered shortly after being reincarnated, and was thought to be weak since Rimuru had easily defeated it. However, in the world of Tensura, it is considered to be very dangerous with an A-level threat rating. On the 50th floor, two demons called Bovix and Equix await. They were originally high-ranking monsters in the Great Jura Forest and often fought each other. However, they were assigned to the underground labyrinth after becoming Rimuru's subordinates and now await challengers who have broken through to the 50th floor. Nevertheless, there are few challengers, and even Bovix and Equix are not part of the 10 Dungeon Marvels, which is set to be even more difficult. Rimuru did not intend to make it this hard, but it seems things got out of hand before he realized it. Dungeon Master. Beretta was entrusted with a position of great responsibility and became one of the 10 Dungeon Marvels. Originally, the maze was created as a place where Veldora could release magicules at any time, and because Veldora and Ramiris had nothing to do, they needed to be taken care of by Beretta. Therefore, she, who had been looking for an opportunity to step down from her position, succeeded in handing over her responsibilities to a powerful wizard named Godora, who had just appeared. However, even though she stepped down from the position of one of the 10 Dungeon Marvels, she remained as the Dungeon Master, and had the power to give orders to the 10 Dungeon Marvels as the vice-captain of Ramiris. Even Apito calls Beretta with honorifics, and later contributed to the defense battle of the maze with her leadership. Trainee-san also seems to be working occasionally, but recently she has been bugged and is not likely to be of much help. With these circumstances, it seems that Beretta's struggles to manage the difficult 10 Marvels will not be easily resolved. Now, let's introduce these 10 Marvels. Floor 60 Guardian. The guardian of the 60th floor is the Great Wizard Godora. Godora once raised Razen in the kingdom of Pharmus as his disciple in the Western countries, and was said to be a close friend of Edelman during his human life. One day, Edelman died due to a trap set by the luminous religion's the 7 Days Clergy. This event caused Godora to develop a hatred for the Western kingdoms, and led him to move to the Eastern Empire, with the goal of destroying the 7 Days Clergy. However, later on, he heard that Rimuru had destroyed them from Razen and wished to join Rimuru's subordinates, who could even command the primordial demons, to achieve his lifelong goal. When he reunited with Edelman, whom he thought had died in the underground labyrinth, he was overjoyed. Godora has been reincarnated many times through a mysterious art of reincarnation and has devoted himself to magical training for eternity. Razen also uses a magic similar to reincarnation, called possession. But there is a decisive difference between the two. That difference is whether or not a possession body is necessary. Reincarnation does not require a possession body, so one can continue to be reborn and live with their personality, abilities, and ego intact. He is a self-centered person who only wants to pursue the limits of magic and has no loyalty, but is a pervert who can manipulate advanced magic, especially the primordial demons, and is eager to become their disciple. When Beretta immigrated to the Tempest, she initially did not want to keep her position as one of the 10 Dungeon Marvels. Instead, Godora was chosen in her place and officially became a member of the 10 Dungeon Marvels by achieving great feats using the Demon Colossus. The Demon Colossus was the statue that Godora had modified to equip various weapons and gain overwhelming destructive power. The statue was also given the order to eliminate intruders, making it another guardian of the 60 floors. Just like how Rimiru's magic impressed Gadorak, Diablo's overwhelming magic also captivated him, and Diablo also seemed to like Gadora's admiration of Rimiru's magic. Diablo told him, "When I recognize that you are useful to Rimiru, I will make you my subordinate." And Gadora was reborn as a demon tribe with Diablo's intervention when he was dying in battle. However, due to interference from Raphael, he became a mysterious being known as a metal demon. The Ultimate Gift Grimoire is of the same lineage as Edelman's Necronomicon and has similar performance. Although he was already proficient in magic as a great magician, he successfully manifested his desire to pursue the limits of magic by learning the ability Knowledge Reading from CL. Floor 70 Advanced Guard. Alberto, the Gehenna Paladin, guards the vanguard of the 70th floor of the underground labyrinth. He was formerly the strongest Holy Knight commander and also had the qualifications of a hero. It seems he has reached the level of an enlightened. His swordsmanship is quite remarkable, as he was able to perfectly intercept Hakuro's sword, even in a weakened undead state. Alberto used to carry out purification activities with a charitable heart to prevent a large-scale undead disaster that occurred on the battlefield of the Great Forest of Jura. However, this was the plan of the 7 Days clergy, and he died along with Edelman. He was resurrected by reincarnation, but he turned into an undead due to the curse of the dead and being exposed to a large amount of magic essence. Furthermore, he was mentally controlled by Clayman and became the gatekeeper of Distov, where Clayman's castle is located. After losing to Shuna, he temporarily degraded to a skeleton, but he evolved into a death paladin by joining Rimiru's subordinates and continuing his training. Despite being undead, he has almost all resistances, including resistance to holy and evil attacks. And the ability of immortality includes Mind Accelerate, Complete Regeneration, and Eternal Subjugation. While entrusting his soul to Edelman, Alberto can become an almost invincible being with the ability to remain alive without his physical body perishing. Edelman himself is already powerful and immortal, making him practically an immortal being. As a reward for his participation in the maze battle, Rimuru gave him a god-class weapon. After unlocking the true power of the weapon, he was able to elevate his physical body into a spiritual life form. Originally a holy knight, his fighting style mainly involves swordsmanship, and his sword skills are said to be the best in Tempest, a land filled with strong individuals. But he still has room for growth. In addition, under the guidance of Demon Lord Luminous, he learned the skill Holy Evil Inversion, which allows him to change attacks of the holy attribute, his weakness, to the evil attribute, so he seems to have overcome even his weakness. He was regarded with caution by Zelario, an angel in the same class as Guy and Milim. Alberto is quite ambitious and is working hard in the underground labyrinth battle to increase his rank among Rimiru's subordinates. He is the only one among the 10 dungeon marvels who seems to be sane, but since he continues to follow Edelman's instructions, it seems unlikely that his nature will be expressed. Floor 70 Guardian. Edelman is the Gehenna Lord who guards the 70th floor of the underground labyrinth, just like Alberto. Despite being a death spirit, Edelman has a mysterious skeleton with a light attribute, making him appear cheerful and demon lord-like. Born as a prince in a small country belonging to Lubelius, Edelman believed in the luminous religion. He then joined the Western Holy Church, where he demonstrated his inherent abilities and remarkable efforts, eventually rising to the highest position of cardinal. He learned various types of magic other than holy magic and, like Alberto, reached the realm of enlightened. However, Edelman fell into a trap set by the 7 Days clergy and was ordered to fight to the death in the Great Forest of Jura, where he died on the spot. Afterward, like Alberto, he turned into a death spirit by receiving a curse of the dead and a large amount of demonic magic. Furthermore, he was forcibly made a subordinate of the former demon lord Kazalim by his curse and existed in the Distov territory of Clayman. Edelman lost his faith in the luminous god because she did not help him in the deadly situation. As a result, he became unable to use holy magic. However, he regained the ability to use holy magic by believing in the new god Rimuru. Additionally, just like Alberto, he has already overcome his weakness attribute. The Ultimate Gift Necronomicon possesses the abilities of Mind Accelerate, Omniscience, Demon Lord's Dominance, Spell Cancellation, Analysis and Appraisal, Truth Investigation, and Control over the Dead. Edelman attacks with magic while the strongest Holy Knight, Alberto, stands at the forefront. The Necronomicon is also capable of using magic managed by CL. However, it cannot be used for everything, and has a complementary relationship with the grimoire possessed by Gadora, enabling the use of only the necessary magic. Additionally, the 70th floor also houses the underworld dragon lord Venti. She was a death dragon who was with Edelman and the others in Distov and evolved into the underworld dragon lord through a blessing during Edelman's awakening and evolution. Afterwards, she was named by Rimuru and transformed from a huge dragon form to a humanoid one. She then acquired the ultimate gift Eternal, which gave her abilities like perfect regeneration and indestructible slavery, making her almost invincible. Furthermore, Venti's zombie breath contains miasma that destroys the target's mind. In addition, those whose minds are destroyed turn into zombies and become Edelman's loyal servants. Moreover, since Venti has entrusted her soul to Edelman, neither Alberto nor Venti will die as long as Edelman is safe. Thus, the defense of the 70th floor has become solid through the coordination of these three. Floor 79 Boss. The Star Wasp, Apito, is the guardian of the 79th floor of the underground labyrinth. Originally a small and weak insect-type magical beast, it was saved by Rimuru when it was covered in wounds in the Great Forest of Jura, and has since pledged absolute loyalty to Rimuru. After being protected by Rimuru and taken back to Tempest, Apito was tasked with gathering honey in the Treant village. It's amazing to think that it was the honey that led to the friendship between Rimuru and Milim. Over time, Apito's body gradually grew larger, and by the time of Rimuru's first participation in Walpurgis, it had grown to be about 50 centimeters. Ramiris was the most surprised by this, revealing that Apito was the top species of army wasps, the queen wasp. After evolving into a humanoid form, Apito became beautiful but belligerent, spewing poisonous words and having the skill to produce many subordinates while still leading the fight at the front, making it one of the fastest of all the monsters. When meeting Rimuru in Volume 16 of the novel, Apito presents freshly harvested honey as a gift, and although its personality is different from Kumara's, its attempt to increase its likability is similar. Apito often acts with another insect-type monster, Zegion, and receives blessings through him. When Zegion evolved, Apito also underwent an evolution. The ultimate gift Proserpina has the powers of Mind Accelerate, Magic Sense, Super Sensitivity, Magic Insect Control, Army Command, Super Fast Action, Fatal Attack, Control Space, Multilayer Barrier, and can command 9 named subordinates to fight. The transmission speed of Magic Insect Control is instantaneous, and the subordinates themselves can also produce subordinates, meaning that facing one Apito is the same as facing a considerable number of powerful army wasps. Definitely an entity that should not be angered. Floor 80 Guardian. Zegion, the insect god, reigns supreme as the strongest of the 10 dungeon marvels, and guards the 80th floor of the underground labyrinth. His strength is so great that even his subordinates vie for the top 2 spots, and he has no discernible weaknesses, having mastered Rimuru's skills to perfection. However, Zegion sees Rimuru as an overwhelmingly divine presence compared to himself, and doesn't vocalize his obsession, but it may be similar to Diablo's. Originally an insect-type magical beast like Apito, he was severely injured in the Great Forest of Jura and saved by Rimuru, who named him and saved his life, leading him to pledge his loyalty in gratitude. When Rimuru protected Zegion and Apito, he used a part of his body to heal them and took them to Tempest. Later, after being super-optimized to the satisfaction of Raphael, Zegion became even stronger. He is a mysterious individual who endured training with Veldora and did not lose to the primordial demons. He defeated the awakened demon lord Dino with ease and annihilated Carrion, who became an awakened demon lord in the underground labyrinth. Zegion's ultimate skill Mephisto has the power of Mind Accelerate, Omniscient Perception, Demon Lord's Haki, Water Thunder Domination, Self-Space Manipulation, Multidimensional Barrier, All Things in Nature, Mental Domination, and Phantom World. With this ability, Zegion can create a phantom world with just his imagination and manipulate and dominate that world. Furthermore, Zegion's exoskeleton is covered with ultimate metal Hihiro Kane, a magisteel given by Rimuru, and has a hardness comparable to that of a god's class. Therefore, it is almost impossible to damage Zegion with physical attacks. In addition, by inheriting a part of Rimuru's body, a corridor of the soul has been formed, and Ciel occasionally gives advice. With a serious and hard-working attitude, Zegion has become a pervert who continues to strive forever. Currently, he has also been selected as one of the 12 lordly guardians, having received Rimuru's soul and awakened as a demon lord, and has become a monster with top-class strength among them. Let's also touch on the identities of Apito and Zegion here. Both were candidates to become 12 insect generals, who were the trusted subordinates of the insect demon king, Zelanus. He reigns supreme over the Insectars, the archenemy of demons, and his power is comparable to or surpasses that of the original demon. Two of the insect generals, who were the larvae of the succession of the 12 insect generals, had escaped, and one of them is similar in appearance to Zelanus. It is said that they were Apito and Zegion. Floor 90 Guardian. Kumara, the king of mystic beasts, guards the 90th floor of the underground dungeon. In terms of strength, Zegion on the 80th floor is stronger, but it seems that everyone recognizes that. Kumara is a rare species of monster with 9 tails and used to be a subordinate of the former demon lord Clayman. Originally, Kumara lived quietly in a small village called Mystic Village. However, due to the Empire's strategy, the village was destroyed. Kumara was captured alive and handed over to Clayman. After that, she was controlled by Clayman's domination curse, but Rimuru released her from the curse and decided to protect her as a pet. Kumara was taken care of by Ranga for a while after being protected by Rimuru, and she grew up quickly after being officially named by Rimuru. Her original 3 tails have increased to 9. She usually took the form of a young girl and played with Kenya and others. She receives combat training from Hakuro and Hinata, and after the establishment of the academy, she enters the academy and spends her school life with others. However, she has transformed into a bewitching beauty without anyone noticing, and even Rimuru cannot comment on this mysterious phenomenon of this monster. Although she had great potential, she sometimes showed carelessness in battle due to her lack of combat experience. However, in the convenient environment of the underground labyrinth where you don't die, Rimuru gained experience by facing strong enemies such as the former demon lord Carrion and Frey. Rimuru evolved from a celestial nine-tail to a divine fox. The ultimate gift Bahamut has abilities such as Mind Accelerate, Omnipotent Perception, Demon Lord Haki, Gravity Manipulation, Space Manipulation, and Multi-Layer Barrier. Gravity Manipulation is said to be able to manipulate gravity so powerfully that it can even interfere with planets. Additionally, Kumara is accompanied by 8 beasts, the 8 legions, with each of its 8 tails named after them by Rimuru. Each tail possesses the power to be entrusted with the role of a floor boss as an individual. Later, Kumara was also chosen as one of the Holy 12 Lordly Guardians like Zegion, and acquired the power of an awakened demon lord. Floor 96 to 99 Boss. 4 high-ranking dragon tribes were brought by Milim for the purpose of giving terrain effects to the labyrinth floors. As a result of being exposed to the magicules of Veldora, they evolved into a Fire Dragon Lord, a Frost Dragon Lord, a Wind Dragon Lord, and an Earth Dragon Lord. Initially, they had only a little intelligence, but after being named by Ramiris, they awakened as new Dragon Lords and gained power comparable to that of the Demon Lord. By the way, Edelman's pet, Venti, was also a Dragon Lord and could be humanized and speak by naming. These 4 Dragon Lords also evolved into humanoid forms: Euros the Draconic Flame Lord, Zephyros the Draconic Frost Lord, Notos the Draconic Sky Lord, Boreas the Draconic Terror Lord. It seems that further evolution is expected as Veldora, who is raising Zegion, has taken on the training of these 4. According to Rimuru's estimate, it was only a matter of time before they became Special S-Class, but Rimuru's subordinates are much stronger than that estimate, so these 4 may become quite powerful as well. Maze King. Veldora, who came to release his magicules as the king of the underground dungeon, is satisfied with his position and gets excited. As previously stated, this underground dungeon was originally created for Veldora to prevent his explosion. After releasing, Veldora quickly learned how to suppress magicules by referencing the manga he read inside Rimuru. However, if he accumulates too much magicules, he cannot avoid the explosion, so he needs periodic release of magicules. In fact, when he fully released all his magicules in the dungeon, the explosion distorted the wall. Therefore, placing Veldora on the 100th floor allowed him to continuously release magicules in his true dragon form without affecting the surface. However, very few people have reached the 100th floor, and after the 10 dungeon marvels were formed, Veldora's role became almost non-existent. Before Zegion and the others evolved, only Hinata had reached the 100th floor of the underground dungeon and faced Veldora. The result was Veldora's victory, but the battle was like searching for Veldora's weakness, and all kinds of magic, spells, and magical tools were used. This experience was brought to life when traveling to the past with Chloe, and resulted in the sealing of Veldora. The current final boss, Veldora, evolved from the ultimate skill Lord of Investigation Faust to the ultimate skill Lord of Chaos Nyarlathotep due to Ciel's intervention. This includes abilities such as Mind Accelerate, Analysis and Appraisal, All Things in Nature, Probability Manipulation, Parallel Existence, Truth Revelation, Space-Time Manipulation, and Multidimensional Barrier. Due to the existence of a heart core within Rimuru, both memories and emotions are perfectly backed up there. Parallel existence, which allows for the complete separation of one's consciousness, can create many powerful Veldoras. Even if they are all defeated, there is a despair loop where Rimuru resurrects them. Additionally, the existence value that represents Magicule's level is approximately 5 million for the strongest of the Labyrinth Marvels, Zegion, while Veldora is 88 million. While they possess immense power and are of the true dragons, their weaknesses seem to be increasing for some reason, such as Velzard and Velgrind, and CL. Secret Boss. Ramiris, the administrator of the underground labyrinth, resides in the control room on the 100th floor where Rimuru's magic displays images from various locations, allowing them to monitor the situation on each floor and outside the labyrinth. Although Ramiris is not a combatant, she collects information from her specially prepared seat in the control room. In emergency situations, Beretta takes command. However, Ramiris also seems to have a sense of responsibility for the protection and management of the underground labyrinth. Ramiris was originally at the apex of the elementals as the Elemental Queen. She had enough power to intervene in the fierce battle between Milim and Guy. However, during this intervention, Ramiris lost most of her power and became a small fairy. Guy shows kindness towards Ramiris, who put herself on the line to protect the world from destruction in this way. Afterward, Ramiris appears to have been reincarnated and grown while inheriting memories repeatedly. In the labyrinth created by Ramiris' skill, Mazecraft, her subordinates become invincible and exhibit unbeatable strength. The special environment of the maze, where one can be resurrected even after death, is considered a significant factor in the rapid growth of the top 10 dungeon marvels. Additionally, Ramiris learned various flags and exciting performances by studying the sacred books with Veldora. To achieve this, there may be some lack of intelligence, but it seems useful for crisis detection. When Ramiris saw Velgrind, she remembered old memories that she usually forgets. In Novel 19, there was a scene where Dagruel, who had become quiet, confronted his brother Fen and regained his memories. If this scene is related to regaining memories, it may be that the real power of Ramiris is also related to regaining old memories. Ramiris, who does not want to lose the labyrinth prepared with Rimuru, may also have a development where she confronts a strong enemy related to her old memories and exhibits great power. How was it? Tempest is a country where many have ultimate skills or ultimate gifts, and awakened demon lords are placed as attractions. At the same time, they are also a defense force in Tempest, and there are still many who have room for growth, so expectations are high for their future activities. In this channel, I will continue to study how to enjoy Tensura, so please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. See you in the next video!